Hey Aquarius, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to your weekly quick read for the week beginning February the 8th. First and foremost, just wanted to touch base with all of the zodiac so everyone is aware. Unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common in the lightwork and tarot reading community where illegitimate sources are sort of setting up pages that look like duplicates of business pages and websites, and subsequently they're targeting page followers. So I just wanted everyone to be mindful, please, Aqua, that first and foremost, I'm not running any current competitions, and if I was, I would communicate that across all three social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. B, my only trading means is via orders that are placed on my website, indigo-ascension.com, that are made by clients when they want to book a reading or a healing or whatever, or products. So I just wanted to make you guys aware that unfortunately it is very common, very easy, I should say, to create a profile that looks like a duplicate and create a page even. Actually, I don't know if you can start a page that has the same name. You can't. So on Facebook, pages and profiles are two different things. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, it's easy enough to duplicate and look like a legitimate page. And then sort of what they tend to do is message followers, target them, a message that looks like, you know, it might come from the page with similar sort of language style, offering a free reading, and then you get sent a website link made out to look like a legitimate Indigo Ascension website, where credit card details are captured and whatnot. So just be very mindful that does happen. It is happening, and it would be very unfortunate to hear, you know, that anyone was taken advantage of. So I don't want that happening to any followers. Okay, so just be mindful. So if you're following me on Instagram, my profile is Indigo Ascension and the number 1. It's the same page name as on Facebook, Indigo Ascension 1. They are my Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course I am on YouTube as well. So just wanted to make everyone aware of that. And yeah, like I said, indigo-ascension.com, Aqua, is where you will, that's my legitimate website. So unfortunately, they can make it look like a website with similar photos and whatnot, but then you'll notice the URL or the internet address for that website is quite different, okay? So it mentions nothing of Indigo Ascension. It might say like sites.google.com or something to that effect, so just be very mindful. Alrighty, so let's focus on your reading. Now, Aqua, this is all happening in your first house. All of this energy is on you. You guys are the star of the show. How are you feeling? Are you okay? You're bringing this energy in. I think every reading that I was doing for you in one way or another last year, whether it was on YouTube or Instagram, was talking about you guys bringing in this age of Aquarius energy for the collective. Okay, so you would have been going through a massive metamorphosis of healing in one way or another across the 2 years prior in the lead up. You did a lot of 12th house healing last year, okay? You did a lot of 11th house healings as well, really looking at the role you have played. So take it however it resonates. What we're activating now, this is all about you, baby. This is about the new you, the old you, looking at what needs to change you, whatever the case may be, who you want. And when we embody first house energy, there is a very big focus. I'm just going to do it for myself because I know it's my time. I know it's right for me. You know, we're really looking at the constitution of who made this, who created this idea of this is me. You know, where did that come from? It came from my childhood. It was shaped and molded by significant relationships and connections in my life. Where did I get that belief from? What beliefs am I going to foster and develop for myself moving forward? You know, it rules all things self. You know, this, when I'm activating first house energies, and especially with Saturn in Aquarius as of last year's conjunction, you know, this is about the foundations and structures you want to create for your life moving forward. So you're going to be very tapped into this energy, Aqua. You're going to be feeling it. You know it's time to focus on you, time to bring in that new chapter, whatever the case may be. The way I want to structure the readings, okay, is to really take a look at how this Aquarian energy activated for you as of last year on December 21, at that conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in your sign. I want to take a look at the second card, representing the energies we're currently all in at the moment with this stellium of Aquarius. So we have all of February, specifically this new moon and Venus in Aquarius, which is the fresh new sort of planetary updates for the week, if you like, and more strongly still, like I said, Saturn is in Aquarius for the next 3 years into 2023. There is a bigger story at play here. There's a new way of doing things. There's very much an Aquarian flavor of doing things. There's new structures, boundaries, rules for self, and it starts with self, okay, Aqua? So first house is always about the self. Rewind the clock back to December 21 last year when you felt like you had to get, like there was something else just waiting out. You just intuitively knew it was time. You knew it was time to turn away from a situation that you had perhaps outgrown, a way of life, ways of beliefs, relationships, connections, jobs, whatever the case may be. Last year on some level, on a soul level even, it felt like it was time. It was time to bring in this new, because that is also what the Three of Wands represents. It is the manifestation card. You have manifested this. It is time to step in, okay? But the Three of Wands, like in this deck, he's turning his back. It could simultaneously have been about you having to walk away from something, an old version of yourself, an old way of living, loving, being, doing. This is about the redefinition of you. You are activating first house energies, okay? So what are you wanting to manifest moving forward? Would have been on your mind heavily since December on some level. You inherently feel it, okay? I was going to call you Capricorn. You inherently feel it, Aqua. You know that this is your year on some level, you know? You could apply that to love, you can apply that to relationships, you can apply that to your career, your creative path, whatever the case may be. Let's take a look at the card representing the current, the Two of Cups. What does it mean to be in emotional harmony, equal reciprocity? My heart sees your heart. What does it mean to open my heart so I can experience that in a connection with another? You guys are the water bearer in your highest octaves, at your mastery, Aquarius. You have mastered the emotions so well that you can comfortably hold space for them, as much as perhaps you might have known or do know in yourself as far as your journey to date that you have avoided emotion, because the shadow of Aquarius might see us wanting to avoid our emotions. We want to go into the minds. That's where we're comfortable. The minds, well, we do have a couple of minds, don't we? Human mind, higher mind, super mind, lower mind, whatever the case may be. It is more comfortable when I look at the concept of shadow Aquarius, because all of the zodiacs have a light and shadow, okay? It is in the shadow Aquarius we are comfortable in the mind, and we can get to that point of overthinking. We know how powerless we feel when we haven't made our mind our friend, and certainly in that space we know what it's not like to desire a connection to our emotions, because we avoid it, yeah? But where we're currently at now, there's a whole new way to open heart, okay? Maybe this has been activated because of a significant connection in the past. Maybe it's because I'm connecting into many Aquarians that are desiring this in the future, so your thoughts are being drawn to that. It might be because it's been activated in a current connection. Take it however it resonates, okay? Maybe you've noticed some sort of relationship themes as far as you have manifested this. Here it is, what are you going to do with it? Okay, after all that 12th house deep soul searching you did last year, before you launched your first house energies, Aqua, you knew that change inevitably had to happen at the very core cellular levels of who you are, and it required a brave journey back into childhood, really looking at patterning, really looking at how you do or don't step out of your comfort zones, and what the hell is this mastery of emotions thing anyway, okay? You have manifested this opportunity to open your heart. And like anything, Aqua, all of us know that, you know, when we stagnate, when we sort of don't push ourselves outside of comfort zones, when we don't push outside of old ways of doing things, we can miss opportunity. Like the potency of that manifestation will lose and dissipate, okay? And that's where this concept of missed opportunities, we'll know, like, you know, the alchemy of that very potency of like, I'm just going to use this because the world's very familiar with this romantic sense of meeting an important connection. Okay, so you can meet an important connection, cross paths, and it seems all romantic and amazing, and you experience this high potency. But if I start to second guess myself, and if I start to fall back in old ways of doing, behaving, avoiding, whatever the case may be, I will notice that energy imprint on that connection, and then that potency is not the same. Does that make sense? Like, that's the missed opportunity. I could certainly stay in that connection and still sort of let it develop and eventuate, and it still starts to repeat old karmic patterning, i.e. when this is why we say, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always experience these situations, these experiences in connections? Because I didn't make the most of the alchemy of the manifestation that I actually called forth myself. Okay? I'm just using that in a relationship context. I can apply that to literally anything, opportunity, career stuff. But for you guys, it was about connecting to an open heart space, because I'll say it 1,000 times, the Two of Cups, to me personally, is about experiencing that open-hearted authenticity with myself first. I see you as you see me. Okay, I am open, I am vulnerable, I am willing, I am giving, I am receiving. I must be able to do that with myself first before I can actually even do that with another. Otherwise, we start to notice the karmic blocks, brick walls, repeated themes, blocked throat chakras, whatever the case may be. Again, it took some courage, it took some empathy. If you're not experiencing this energy, I feel it coming in very, very strongly. Maybe you guys have been busy defining this word peace after a time of processing judgment. After a time of processing honesty or a lack thereof in certain communications, connections, experiences of significance in the past. This year, last year, was all about connecting into genuine empathy as far as this next level of empathy for self, for path. Really looking at this concept of courage. What did it mean to step outside of old ways of doing things when it come to my emotions, when it come to open-hearted expression, when it come to how I habitually turn away perhaps, how I am aware and conscious, because you are the higher mind, Aqua, of, yeah, God, I've manifested this, but what the hell am I going to do about it in my very human way? Sometimes I will continue to play out in karmic ways. All right? Just going to leave that with you guys to decide in the future. Okay, what I wanted, no, I'm not necessarily looking at this as far as past, present, future, but this bigger story of Saturn being in Aquarius is about you dropping the burdens, Aqua. The energetic burdens, the old roles you have always played, this stuff you've carried for lifetimes, for years, decades, for months. It's time to let it go. Specifically with that last full moon in Leo we had, you would have been feeling that highlighting your shadows big time, because it sat opposite the zodiac table. It sat in your house of partnerships. It sat in that house where you just can't ignore the shadows anymore, about especially in the realms of effective partnership. And that doesn't just have to be intimate and romantic. It could be any partnership where I've carried a load that I didn't need to. And was that because you weren't feeling like you could be emotionally vulnerable and speak your truth? Was it because you felt like you energetically, as an empath, had to carry more so than the other? Where did you fall into false pretenses of believing you had to play a certain role, Aqua? Okay, that Leo full moon was potent for you to really release. You know, the Ten of Wands is a burden. Okay, there's something here that's burdening you. You're still carrying, and I'm going to say this even looks like many Aquarians. If you are not in partnership, before you even want to open up again, you sense and know in yourself there's stuff here you're carrying, okay, and it's going to take quite a lot of courage to let that go. This could be in the realms of an important commitment, a marriage-like commitment. It could be connected to an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay, but maybe in Capricorn, when Saturn was in Capricorn, there was a massive ending, massive transformation you went through, and that was for the 3 years prior to 2020. So in the years between 2016 into 2020, so 2017, 18, 19, 20, there was a deeply transformative event that happened because of a significant commitment, okay? And maybe the goal across that last 3 years was just to experience peace. Maybe it was to experience your own individualhood, okay, as far as being single and sufficient on my own. Take it however it resonates. Maybe involved a very powerful and important connection in your life that ultimately needed to be called into balance, that ultimately activated some form of healing for you. Certainly a very strong, important, potent connection, probably marriage or marriage-like material. I feel like you guys are healing. And if it wasn't a romantic connection, you know, this is about your beliefs around marriage, your beliefs around love and connectivity, and what was learned to you in childhood is what I do want to say, and how perhaps, you know, connection didn't necessarily equal peace, it equaled chaos is what I do want to say, interpreting those cards. Yeah. Despite what you were shown, despite what you've been through in very significant experiences, there's a patterning here that had to be recognized in self as far as not activating old karmic cycles. And that's what you guys were processing last year. That's what you were feeling this year was very much a bit about, like that new beginning. And that you could literally be in a relationship for the last 8 years of your life and still experience a refresh, okay? We can still refresh existing connections and make it feel like new again, because we have both worked together to karmically drop patterning, okay? So take it however it resonates. On very broad levels, this is all about you. You're activating first house energies, amazing opportunities for new beginnings in romance, commitments, you know, romance that turns into serious commitments after a time of healing, but you're going to have to let something go. You're going to have to believe in the fact that you've manifested this, and it's probably going to take a little bit of courage. All right, my lovely Aquas. That was your quick read for the week, February the 8th. Hope you got something out of that. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so by heading above to the Indigo Ascension shop link. And if you're watching on YouTube, that same link is in the details below. Until next time, Aqua, have an amazing week and take care.